is very swift and very powerful. So it carries a lot of sediment. So when it gets to Odo, which is virtually a flat plain, sedimentation takes place. So I've always said that anybody who thinks that waste management has something to do with flooding is missing the point. Waste can only be trapped when there's silt, when it melts with silt. Otherwise, it will carry it out. The water will carry it away. The speed with which the water is coming will carry the waste away. It only becomes a problem when we have a lot of silt as we see coming from the top, and it mixes with the waste, then it chokes the gutter. I don't know whether you understood it.
I get you. So if we put boiler inside the gutter, if the gutter were clean and the water runs swift,
it will take it away.
It will take it away.
Sure.
It wouldn't, but if there is silt, which is like clay, mud, sand, and everything, and then it will mix it together, and it becomes one solid thing, and it cannot move.
That's the point.
And then the water now spills over the streets.
Exactly.
And then the streets are covered.
Sure.
If you were the, I'm not going to say Accra mayor, because this is bigger than Accra problem. If you were the Greater Accra Regional Minister, given the job of ensuring we don't see flooding in Accra, and we don't see filth in Accra, we see proper drainage system, proper streets, and all of that, what would be the key things you tackle to overall deal with this challenge?
So I think that if we go to the various ministries, they have good technocrats who know what to do. And I'm aware that Garrett, for example, were trying to put up a retention pond as part of measures to reduce the flooding in Accra.
Okay, where?
At Atomic.
Okay.
They acquire a good land, but before long, we saw, I don't want to use the word politicians, people
with power,
taking over that same land that was earmarked for the retention pond and building. Umaru, I can say without any fear of contradiction, if you go to Domi, a number of infilling is going on, and we all watch it. Yesterday, at the crossing between Pillar 2 and Mempasem, that area there, a big bridge was overflown because the banks have been filled and built. And once you fill the banks, you reduce the channel of the gutter, and therefore the little volume of water that comes in overflows. I'm saying that we really know what we have to do. The only thing is for us to get the political will to do what we need to do. Otherwise,
are you suggesting that we should not build on the Ebri Mountain at all? If we already have, we should collapse those buildings?
I'm not even saying that. It has been reserved over the years as a green belt. Right? If for one reason or the other we are going to build, then we should ensure that we don't get the place paved, leaving some greens to allow water to seep through. In fact, it serves a lot of purposes. If for nothing at all, water seeping through the F-class also fill the water table. You understand? Once we get all the place paved,
water cannot seep.
Exactly. And it flows very fast.
What's the role of the Ramsar site in this conversation? Because that one too has been taken over, and it's also supposed to be a sponge for our environment, right?
Well, I don't know whether you are trying to refer to a Ramsar site like Sakomon.
Yes,
that's fine. So a Ramsar site is a designated international ecosystem which has a very good purpose. You understand? And once we have subscribed to it, one would have expected that we will protect it. And we have laws that protect it. Forestry Commission has a unit that is responsible the assemblies have planning divisions that are supposed to permit or not to permit. EPA monitors that. We have a number of institutions that are supposed to. One wonders where we get it wrong. Having all these laws, yet people do what they do with impunity.
We are seeing the demolition happening there. You think it's a way to go?
Well, I am saying that it appears to be too episodic. Do it once and relax. It gives people the opportunity to feel that afro. There's the need for a sustained action to serve as a deterrent. Because 3 months ago, there was a demolition. We relaxed. Those that we demolished got built again. We are demolishing again. In the next 3 days, we will stop and they'll put it up. My point is this. Once we have taken a decision to clear those mess, let's have a sustained action, clear it, and we don't leave the debris there, and we try to reforest those areas to bring it back, try to bring it back to its natural course. Once you demolish it, leave the debris there, and go back to sleep.
It's pointless.
It's pointless.
How do we deal with Achimota Forest? Again, it's also strategically located in Accra, but we are losing it again to construction work.
I think that Achimota Forest should not be. And I think that the government has taken decision on that. And I'm all for that. It's not. We will be...
But we still have human activities in there.
Well...
Or we cannot prevent that.
I don't know human activity that you are referring to. Like the churches.
Mm-hmm.
That is not very harmful. That, to me, is not very harmful. What is harmful is trying to bring the forest down to put up a structure. If for nothing at all, that paved the area and we will have ourselves to blame.
Let us come back to forest, which is what you are doing now. But because we are doing urban planning and city planning, the traffic situation in Accra, that's also something you have expertise in. What are we getting wrong? Because we keep widening our roads, we keep dualizing, but we still have the problem. Is it that we have allowed more importation of cars, or what's happening?
Amara, we are not saying that we have more cars in Ghana than in the United States.
No, definitely not.
Okay. First, remember, our road system has its antecedent in history. So they were small. What we have not done best, from my perspective, is the arterial roads. We all have to use the same route from Achimota to Legon. There's no bypass that you can conveniently use. And that makes us, if one car breaks down along the way, it has a rippling effect on the whole traffic system. I think that in as much as we try to open up the roads, we should also be concentrating on the itinerary roads, the alternative roads, so that we will not all be held in one, boxed in one road, but we will be having opportunity to use other alternative roads.
Do you subscribe to moving the capital from here to ease the place up?
I think that it's a possibility, but it's not an antidote. And why do I say that? I recall 2012 when Nigeria was moving
Lagos to Abuja.
I was privileged to be part of those who spoke about it. And I said that, you see, it's like if a dead goat is left lying here, it would definitely attract
vultures and flies.
Exactly. Once you move the capital to Abuja, you're going to put, look at what they did. They put up fantastic buildings for the government officials. What they failed to realize is that a government official will not drive his car. He would have a driver. He will need a house help. He will need a watchman. Those watchmen cannot be in those buildings that they put up.
So they find a slum.
Exactly. So if you look at Abuja today, at all the aspects, it's chocolate slums. So we need to.
So if we move Accra to Dodowa, it's the same thing.
We need to plan holistically, not plan for few, but plan with everybody in mind. Planning for the government officials, the ministers and the deputy ministers. We should also plan for the drivers and the
cleaners.
This
is Face to Face on Channel 1 Television. I'm Umaru Sanda Amadu. My guest is Professor Martin Oteng-Ababio. He is chairman of a special fund that has been set up to help reforest, if there's any word like that. I'll ask him to explain that when we come back, because they are very much involved in the whole anti-galamsey campaign. Please stay with us.
June is for business here at City FM and Channel 1 TV. This June, the ideas get bolder and the future of Ghanaian business takes center stage. Welcome to the City Business Festival 2026. For the entire month of June, 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV bring together the thinkers, builders, innovators, and dreamers shaping the future of enterprise in Ghana. From powerful business fora that spark meaningful conversations to insightful on-air discussions with industry leaders and change makers, to stories of resilience, innovation, and ambition from Ghanaian entrepreneurs. This is more than a festival. It is a movement of ideas, strategy, and impact. Whether you're starting small, scaling big, or simply dreaming of your next breakthrough, the City Business Festival is your platform to learn, connect, and grow. Join the on-air series every weekday at 9 a.m. on the City Breakfast Show on 97.3 City FM and at 11 a.m. with a repeat at 6 p.m. on Channel 1 TV. This June, let's challenge businesses. Let's refine ideas. Let's create impact. Call 0205-973-973 for further details. City Business Festival 2026, driving ideas into impact. The City Business Festival 2026 is powered by 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV in partnership with Absa Bank, and it's proudly sponsored by Absa Bank, MTN, Zondatech Ghana Limited, and Petra Trust.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Face to Face on Channel 1 Television. I'm Umaru Sanda Amadu. My guest is Professor Martin Oteng-Ababio. His proper title is Board Chair of the Forest Plantation Development Fund. What is that Forest Plantation Development Fund?
It was set up in 2000 by an Act 583 and has been in existence for the past 25 years.
So you have a legal mandate, you are a creation of parliament?
Yes.
So there's an act supporting that. And your what is your mandate? What are you supposed to do?
So I'm saying that we have basically two mandates. First, to assist individuals who have the wherewithal. I'm referring to land that can they can grow
plant trees,
as it were. Then secondly, we also engage in research and give technical advice to those in the industry.
So let's talk about the first leg, the planting of the trees. We have been seeing government do day of tree planting, or there's some term they used to call it. And the Ministry of Lands usually would do it. Is that the one you're talking about, or this is different?
No, that one is
National Tree Planting Day or something.
So it's coming off, I think, 5th June.
Okay.
But ours is a continuous process. We have people, a number of private individuals who have resorted to plantation as part of their livelihood. They grow trees, they grow thick, for example, nurture them and harvest them for sale. Such people might need some financial assistance one way or the other. They may need some technical advice one way or the other. When it comes to that bridge, they come to the fund and solicit assistance, and we examine their documents and help them accordingly.
So for 25 years, you've been helping people?
Sure. I mean, they've been operating for the past 25 years, yes.
How much money do you get annually for this project? Can you give me an estimate? You don't need to give me a specific budget.
Well, I mean, like I said...
Or rather, how much do you spend on this annually? If you have an estimate, you can share with me.
So I don't have it offhand, honestly.
Okay.
But what I know of is the fact that gradually the fund is dwindling. And it's dwindling because it is not all species that we export that are part of the deductions that we do.
So your fund is purely from that export. You don't get anything from the budget, annual budget.
No.
You can go and beg for arms.
We do also write proposals.
Okay.
To seek assistance.
Now, so if I came to you that I want to benefit from your fund, draw from your fund, what do I have to do? Or what do I have to show? So
there's a form that you have to fill. There are some requirements that you need to meet. For example, and that is the key. Forest does not take 1-2 years to mature. It takes time. So you should have a very dedicated land that is capable of sustaining the trees that you are planting to the time of their lifetime. So you should be able to demonstrate to us that the land belongs to you.
So you need land?
Yes, you need land.
And so you give me the money for free, or I'll come and pay you when I go and harvest the trees and sell them?
So we have two ways. If it's a grant, then we think that you might not need that much. You need just a little. It can be a grant.
Okay.
But if it's a loan, then you have to pay after some years.
So you give loans out as well?
Yes. The fund gives loan and gives grants.
Interesting. Now, so you have private people coming to do this?
A number of them.
For their homes, or they just buy land and they want to turn it into a forest? How many people buy? People buy land and turn it into an estate, but I didn't know that people buy land and turn it into a forest.
There are a number of them. In fact, the last data that I had from the Forestry Commission, they had registered about 300 plus individual plantations that we have in the country.
Private people wanting to do forests?
Yes, I mean, they are doing it, not that they wanting to do it.
And they do it and harvest it later for financial gains, or just because of the beauty of it?
No,
because they want to save the environment.
They harvest it for financial gains, especially teak. People plant teak.
The one they use for the light poles?
Yes. And when they are mature, they sell it.
So if I come and say I want to do neem trees or any of those other trees, you won't give it to me?
I'm saying that depending on the purpose of the neem tree. For example, this morning I went to a friend who gave me a tea, and I look at it and it was made of neem tree.
Okay.
And if, for example, the purpose of that neem tree plantation that you want to do is to go into commercial tea production, which is a very good thing, then we may support you.
Okay, interesting. So over the years, you do this and your place is relevant, it has to continue to remain, because if we have the planting tree and they say 5 million trees are planted in just one day, why do we spend so much money on an institution that exists and, just allow people to go and plant trees?
I think that we all have to appreciate the significance of a day of planting tree. First, if for nothing at all, creating awareness of the importance of tree planting, it's good. In our individual homes, if we can do that, the story that we talked about the climate change might not be at the level that we are experiencing now.
So these things, are they in Accra or outside Accra?
Most of them are outside Accra. Most of them are outside Accra. Hohoi, Odan, Sinyani, even part of Ashan region.
Have you considered secondary schools and universities that have huge lands that you can give them gratis to plant trees? So
we have one student, one tree.
One student, one tree
project.
Okay.
Umaru, there is a direct relationship between heat in classroom and ability to learn. So what we do is we identify schools that have depleted all the canopy. Then we assist the students to plant trees to improve the canopy of the place and to reduce the temperature in the school.
Okay.
That's one tree, one school.
I see. And this for secondary school or for public school?
Public schools, certain schools, every school, any school that
and they plant in the school. Do you give them money or just give them a tree and tell them to plant and take care of it?
No, I mean, normally in school they have these clubs.
Yes.
Where we engage the clubs, encourage them. The reason why we don't do the planting, we give the technical advice, give them the plants, and help them to do, and give them technical advice as to how to maintain it. So we occasionally go to them, make sure they are nurturing better.
You are a member. You are the chair of an 80-member committee tasked to come up with the best way to mine. Talk to me about that.
I guess a year plus ago, somewhere last year, the ministers for then Environment, Honorable Mutala and Honorable Aboa, formed an 80-member committee to fashion out the best way of overcoming the menace of galamsey, illegal mining. In fact, we submitted our final report about a month ago. It took us about a year to submit a report. But then before that, we had submitted an initial report, a midterm report, and a final report.
What were you looking out for?
So,
or what was your terms of reference? What were you tasked with doing?
No, we're trying to see how best can we move away from what we have done to get our water bodies polluted to a sustainable way of mining. Remember, the government decided not to ban small-scale mining. But what would be the best way to do the mining so that it will not lead us into the temptation that we are now? And that is what we were tasked to do.
So what did you find? Or how did you approach it? Did you have to go to galamsey? What did your committee do?
So, Umaru, it took about a year because we felt that sitting in Accra and fashioning out a methodology would not work. So after doing the table work, initial literature review, look at what happened, because it's not the first time. We look at all the various reports that we've already had, academic papers that we've had. We also did stakeholder meetings. We had a number of academicians to come and give us a presentation. A number of NGOs, Dr. Kennedy Shibi gave us Rastos came, a number of them. We also went into the communities from Ashanti region, Central region, Western region to Upper East, Upper West, Northern region. Held debates with the people, those are engaged in galamsey
mining,
and the chiefs. The reason why we did that was we had three main principles. We said that the fight against illegal mining or the use of the military to fight illegal mining has not been successful, and it would never be successful unless and until we understand the basic principle and underpinning what they are doing. Because the use of the military is neither apolitical nor in fact, it is almost always the poor who suffer when you use the military. Those who are actually involved go scot-free.
The owners, the big people.
The big people. It's like catch and leave. So we needed to go to them to appreciate it. We also wanted to, work with the principle that not all mineralized land should be mined.
Okay.
And thirdly, we also underpin by the fact that the fight is not an action. It was a process. So if it's a process, then you don't expect the results at one go. These were the three underpinning principles that guided our work.
Okay. Now, when you went, you of course discovered that mining was not being done in a proper way.
Yeah.
So what were some of the dangerous mining practices that you saw, which would be contained in your report?
Oh, Umaru, I don't want to repeat the fact that champagne has become part of the mining process. In fact, first we realized that the machinery has changed. In time past, it was the pickaxes and the shovels. Here we have champagnes and excavators. The danger the excavator can do within 5 minutes is grievous. Secondly, we also realize that the participants have changed. Hitherto, we used to be our compatriots from within the neighborhood. Now we have Chinese and people who have invested. In a time past, these are people who were looking for bread and butter. But here they have invested, trying to make fortunes out of it. So they are prepared to protect it.
So it's a dangerous business now.
Exactly.
Now, the community, of course, is involved, but also there are external people involved in there. So what is your advice to the president? What are you saying to the president in this your recommendation?
So we give, let me highlight about 2, 3. First, we said that the hit and run attitude of the military is not the way to go. So let's equip the Forestry Commission guys who are in the forest. Let's put up a permanent structure there for them to be there 24/7 to protect the forest.
We should withdraw soldiers?
Not withdrawing them, but we should make them, they withdraw themselves at the end of the day, every day. They go and come back. When they come back, the people go back to mine. Yeah? So we are saying that once we use the soldiers to clear them out of the forest, we need to have an eye in the forest. And to do that, we already have forest guards who are supposed to monitor the forest.
Yeah.
But because they have very dilapidated buildings in the forest, let's put up a better structure, which they have done. In fact, last week, they commissioned about 3 or 4 in Ashanti region, so that they will be permanently there 24/7. And they should be armed.
So empower the forest guards.
Exactly. That is one.
Okay.
So if you care to know, forest guard, they are two, the wildlife and the forest guard. There's no wildlife geographical area where the Galamsey people were able to attack. They never attacked any of the forests that were being manned by the forest guards.
Is it because the wildlife guys have guns?
They have guns, they are armed, and they have their
settlements in
there.
Oh,
so
okay.
We're saying that let's replicate that in all the forests that we have.
So forest guards don't have...
They use a catapult.
and they seldom stay in the place. I didn't even know they are forest guards. I know wildlife guards.
Yes.
Because of Shy Hills.
Yes.
Because I'm from that area, so
yes.
I see them.
Yes.
They carry rifles.
Yes.
And they have motorbikes.
Yes. And you dare not go near.
Yes, they can shoot.
Yes.
And they are trained.
Yes.
In fact, we used to call them soldiers when we were growing up. We thought they were soldiers.
Yes.
And they wore the khaki.
Yes.
So there are supposed to be some people called forest guards.
Yes. They use crab and catapult.
That's interesting. And they're also supposed to protect. So they are overwhelmed or overpowered. Or they will be possibly compromised.
In recent years, we've suffered a number of casualties of them.
So empower the forest guards, the forest guards, that's one. Take away the soldiers and make the forest guards empowered.
Yes.
What else did you propose?
We also suggested that we should decentralize the mining regime, the licensing regime. Today, licensing starts from Accra. So you come to Accra and get your license and take it to the village.
And show it to them.
And show it to them. And that disempower the chiefs. They have no role to play. So we are saying that let's reverse the system. Let's start with the license from the village. If there's a land that you want to engage in mining, go through the district assembly. We have the district, the MENCOM there. Mm-hmm. We have EPA there. We have water resource there. We have forestry. Let them all assess and agree. And the chiefs are part of this process.
And they give you an approval.
They give you an approval. So once you have gone through that approval regime, then perhaps you can come for your certification in Accra. Okay. For nothing at all, it gives the chiefs some authority to monitor their land.
And they'll be involved.
Exactly.
But have you also, anyway, let me leave this question for when I come back, whether the chiefs themselves are involved in the galamsey and how that can be dealt with, and whether we can really fight the galamsey because the politicians are neck deep in there. This is Face to Face on Channel 1 Television. My guest is Professor Martin Oteng-Ababio. He's board chair of the Forest Plantation Development Fund. We're talking about how to reclaim and save our forests. Please stay.
On Lifeline this week, we dive deep into self-worth and identity, understanding who you are beyond title.
We're constantly wondering what people are thinking about us.
Okay. Bishop Fred Krechimensa is joined by Eunice Osetutu this week at 10 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV. From Accra to Buenos Aires, from Lagos to London, the world is locking in for the greatest football spectacle on earth, the 2026 FIFA World Cup. But before the first whistle cuts through the noise, there's a deeper rhythm to the game. Every badge carries history, every player brings a story, every number means something. Welcome to World Cup Central, only on Channel 1 TV.
Hello and welcome to another episode of World Cup Central right on Channel 1 TV.
Your home of football intelligence with African energy and global perspective. We're taking you beyond the highlights, from powerful eye-opening stats to sharp breakdowns of every qualified nation to insights that change how you see the beautiful game.
Their first appearance was in 1930 and their best finish at the World Cup was third place in 1930. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, welcome back. This Face to Face on Channel 1 Television. My guest is a professor of geography, but also has interest in a number of things that we've been talking about. Prof, so in your findings, did you also make recommendations about how chiefs could be dealt with in this galamsey matter? Because they say they are also neck deep and the politicians are involved. What's your recommendation to the president in that?
Umaru, I mean, let's put the speculation aside.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is, no one can deny the fact that a number of allegations have been made. The most important thing that I, Oteng-Ababio, see is the political will at the top. Once we have the political will, I think that the fight is winnable. If you recall, the MP for our win, Honorable Osulabi, was cited for being implicit in the work. The chiefs of that area demonstrated and held a press conference to that effect. the president was quick to release him to go and fight his battle. I also recall on the 18th of July, I guess, 2025, or 18th of August, the chiefs of also cited the DC of being involved. He was asked to go and defend himself. There are a number of people in government who have also been subjected to the same. To me, that is a very good news.
So you see political will at the highest level?
Perfect. To me, that is the most important thing. Because, listen, insofar as we will not stop building police stations, means that we appreciate the fact that crime doesn't expire.
But this same government is being accused of empowering galamseyers and buying galamsey gold to shore up the city. You're saying that there's political will there?
I don't want us to go that political route. I want us to appreciate the fight in totality. I can sympathize with people who want immediate end to it. That's why initially I said that this fight is a process. It's not an action. It is a process. If you understand the concept of the political water that we have, it's not something that we can have one day clean. No. It will take some time. Our ability to sustain the fight is the cardinal point in this game. Because people have realized, can you imagine civilians confronting soldiers with guns? People have come to realize that they are more likely to make a good livelihood if they pursue that. So definitely people will try. Mm-hmm. But then our ability to sustain the fight hold the key to success.
But the political will you talk about is the same political will that is not willing to impose a state of emergency in illegal mining areas. And that if that is done, we would see an immediate solution to the problem.
Who said this? If Ken is a very good friend of mine. In fact, when I finished our report, I gave it to Ken to review it. I'm kind of honored, Dr. Ken Ashiwe. Mm-hmm. When I finished the report, I gave it to him. If you can cite one example in the world where a state of emergency has ended galamsey, I'll be very happy.
So it's not a way?
It is not a way. It is about understanding the mathematics in it and trying to find an antidote. We went to Abroa. You remember that village that was brought down? Mm. We went there recently, and you see how the village has come up again. Is marvelous. The point is that people have realized there's wealth in it. There's money in it. So they would definitely go in for it. Our ability to sustain the fight is the key to our success.
And so far you see the political will. Now, the issue about reforestation, what did you recommend?
No, it's very important because we have, in fact, 9,000 hectares of land that to engage in afforestation. And the amount that we need is so huge. So obviously government cannot do it alone. So we are saying that government should also collaborate with the development partners to help. And so far, I think that, for example, the Saudi Fund is helping Forestry Commission to do that. We on our own are also encouraging individuals. Government is also giving out part. Remember, we don't have the resources to engage all at a go. But then in a segmented manner, we would have to.
Prof, we look forward to you delivering success at the fund, and thank you so much for speaking to us. I'll come back to you at the end of well, you're going to be there for 4 years, right?
Sure.
I'll come back and see how you are doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Do you regret leading the group of lecturers for Mahama?
Oh, we had a good course, and I think that you can attest to it.
It's on course.
Very.
That my papa has come.
Well, at least it's better than we have used.
That's Professor Martin Oteng-Ababio. He is the board chair of the Forest Plantation Development Fund. This has been Face to Face on Channel 1 Television. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. Thank you for watching us.